Hello, welcome to another edition of Sik'ar Reviews. And today, I'm up really early because I gotta go to a doctor's appointment with my friend, and the doctor's 2 hours away by bus, and I gotta get ready and everything before going out and wake up a little bit because I don't like riding the bus tired. So, it means getting up early. And it's right now actually about 12:30ish, roughly, and it was time to wake up, I guess. So, it's really early for me. I'm also having a bit of a health issue. Been having pain right in here lately, and it seems to come on right now at night. So, don't know why. It is not heart related. They've done enough tests to know that my heart's in great shape. It's not lung related. They have no clue what it is, but it's extremely painful at times. So, anyways, enough about me. Getting on to tonight's review, or this morning's review, or whatever. The Avo XO. I'm going to say something kind of interesting. If you can read right there, if I can hold steady, you can see that it's spelled Nocturno. 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 From the word nocturne. However, every single cigar site sells this. JR Cigar, Cigar International, Famous, Thompson, and Sik'ar.com all have it listed as Notturno, as Notturno. Now, at first I figured, oh, well, this is a typo when I saw it at Cigar International. Then I saw everybody do it. It's very clear on here, Nocturne. Anyways, Notturno actually means nocturne. It's, in fact, the plural is notturni. And of course, I'm sure I butchered the pronunciation. It's just a musical piece. And I shouldn't say it that way. Saying it's just a musical piece makes it sound as if it's, well, unimportant because it's music. Love music. Love the nocturnes, particularly from Frédéric Chopin. But, anyways, I just thought it was interesting that the websites had it different. Now, another thing that's a little bit different is, although they're all in agreement that it's a Connecticut wrapper, one has it as a Connecticut shade wrapper, one has it as an Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, and another has it as an Ecuadorian Connecticut seed wrapper, and then two others don't tell you what type of wrapper it is at all. Only two tell you that the binder is Dominican Republic, JR Cigar and Cigar International, and the filler, according to JR, is fermented Dominican Republic filler. According to CI, in their brief description, it calls it Dominican Republic, but in their long description, it says it's a 5-country blend of fillers. And Cigar.com also says it's a 5-country blend of tobaccos. But, again, doesn't tell us which ones. And Thompson says, nothing. It does say that it's 6-year aged tobacco, though. So, we got everything from it being fermented to 6 years aged to having 5-country blend to having various different types of Connecticut wrappers. And then the weird thing on the back, the Notturno instead of Nocturne. Anyways, gonna go ahead and open this up. That's just nitpicking, though. It's really all pretty much unimportant. I mean, yeah, it's nice to be able to tell you the wrapper, and I can tell you it's a Connecticut wrapper. But it is nice to be able to whittle it down to what type of Connecticut wrapper. I mean, when it comes to Connecticut wrapper, is the Connecticut wrapper coming from the Viso, the Secco, the Ligero of the plant? Because Connecticut comes from the plant. The plant itself is a Connecticut tobacco leaf. That's why we talk Connecticut seed tobacco. So the whole plant is the Connecticut. Doesn't tell us where the leaf comes from. So to have one is Ecuadorian Connecticut, which is a Connecticut seed developed in Ecuador and grown in Ecuador, would say this is an Ecuadorian Connecticut. Now, still don't know where in the plant. To have an Ecuadorian Connecticut seed now means that the seed was developed from a Connecticut plant in more likely Connecticut, America, shipped down to Ecuador, grown in the shade there, and voila. And then you have JR that just says it's a Connecticut shade, so that means it could be grown here in America, or it could be grown in Ecuador, or it could be grown anywhere. It really isn't very helpful information because you don't know. Same with the binder, Dominican Republic. We don't know what type of binder, whether it was Viso Seco, whether it came from this type of Dominican Republic plant. One actually said that it was based off of multiple tobaccos from the same farm in the Dominican Republic. Well, that tells you right there that there's just so many different types of tobaccos that they can pull from in just one farm. Variations. And we don't get to know that information. So, if we had a real big like to having Dominican Republic Viso from a farm in whatever city that has this blend, or this genetic strain of tobacco plant, then it'd be nice to know that the cigar has that strain of tobacco plant from that farm. It's all confusing, but very farmish. They say that kind of stinky barnyard is a sign of very good tobaccos. Kind of sugary sweet off the cap. I did not get an actual size for this. It might be on that wrapper. No. I know it's a Corona. It's less than 50 ring gauge. So, anyways, going to go ahead and fire this up. Nice hay smells. My lighter, of course, is not going to work for me. It's been very temperamental lately. It's maxed on flame height too, and if I turn it down, I don't even get any gas come out of it really. And of course I have no other lighters over here. I will be right back and continue this video. So went ahead and got another lighter. This is a Vertigo, and it's been a very nice little lighter, particularly for touch-ups, not so much for starting up. This Firebird's been really nice, but I do not know what's wrong with it. I mean, I cannot turn this up anymore. It's at the max. If I turn it down, I can't even really hear gas escape. So it's like the highest setting is still too low for it to work right. This one actually will light in the wind. This one will not light in the wind. Very, at this point, mild. Which isn't anything like what any of the sites were saying that it was kind of a more medium-bodied. So far, not a lot of flavors coming out either. Very faint. I can taste things. So when I say not a lot of flavor, don't take it the wrong way that I'm saying there's no flavor. There's flavor. It's very subtle, gentle flavors. Um, very nice retro hail. Very barnyard, very hay, very oat. The smell off the wrapper comes straight through in the smoke on a retro hail. It leaves kind of a nutty kind of palate, the taste that lingers with the finish there. Lots of kind of light earthy notes that come in here. Yeah. Now I'll tell you this. This is an odd cigar. If you smoke the cigar as is and just puff and let the smoke go out, the flavors are kind of on the more mild side. But if you retrohale with this one, the flavors become pronounced and want to stay and be seen. So this is going to be interesting to see how this goes. Now, one thing that you may notice is I'm sitting there going, my mouth's working. What I'm trying to do is basically use the salivary glands inside the mouth to bring flavors from different areas to see if I can get a better try of identifying. Of course, this is not stuff that you would do pretty much smoking a cigar on your own. I mean, some people might if they really want to detect the flavors and stuff and be like, what am I getting at? It's really a different way of smoking a cigar being in review than if you were just smoking a cigar. And I like doing both ways. I find in a review and the different methods of getting flavors kind of, I don't know, can make a cigar more enjoyable. It's almost like a full contact sport. I'm not saying, yeah, it's like playing football and getting hit by a linebacker or whatever. But there's skill involved. It feels like I'm doing something rather than just enjoying a cigar. It's like a cook who's cooking in the kitchen and they present the food to a bunch of people and they get positive results and people like their food. You feel good about that. And I don't know, there's something that feels good about going through that experience. I'm kind of confused on where I'm going. It's sort of late and, well, sort of early. I've had a very tough last 4 or 5 days. But anyways, I will see you if there's any changes in this, any flavor changes, and I'll try not to take up all your time. So, see you shortly. Hello, and this ash does not seem to want to hold after about this. It's slanting very much to one side for those who are ash nuts. Flavors are still fairly much the same. Slight nut with I don't know what type of spice to say it is. It's more like a vegetative spice. Thyme, perhaps. If I was going to try to pick something off the top of my head. Well, I shall continue. See you shortly. Hello, and welcome back to the final third of this Avo XO. Well, you know, one ash and then this. It's actually pretty decent if it only comes off in 2 chunks, even though I did lose to a tiny little ash at one point. The flavors have increased here at the end. Oftentimes is the case. Kind of a heavy nutmegish spice that almost comes to being pepper. It's kind of that strong. Very nice though. Good finish to it. There's also some leather notes. In some ways, this reminds me of the La Reloba, which was the last cigar I reviewed. And the fact that the leather has kind of come in the bottom part as being very heavy. And it's just kind of a surprise that there's a similar profile to both. Beginning half, very essentially mild with lots of flavors. Second half, much stronger with more leather notes. Although, if you watched the La Reloba video, I wasn't too keen on the flavors. In this one, I actually am, because they're not overpowering. They're still strong, but they're not almost gross. And see, this is why I don't like holding an ash. Had I not been over an ashtray, that would have just been all over my pants, the floor, whatever. But there's the second one just fall off. And this is just about done. So, anyways, my recommendation on this, I definitely have enjoyed this one, but not as much as other Avos out there. As I said, the Synchro Nicaragua, the Classic, the Mystery Note, all 3 of those, in my opinion, were better cigars. And if this is supposed to be the cream of the crop, and the other ones taste better, and they're almost the same price range though, so I don't really know why they call this one the cream of the crop. This is a $9 cigar though for a Corona, but you know, most of the Avos are in the $9 to $10 price range anyways, so I don't know as the XO is really the cream of the crop. As I said, I don't think it's as good as other Avos that I've had. But I still really immensely enjoyed it. So, I definitely recommend it, especially if you become a fan of Avo. If you're not too familiar with the Avo line, I wouldn't start with this one. I'd start with the Classic or the Synchro Nicaragua. Or, well, any other one. This one I'd kind of save for last once you've gotten into enjoying the Avo line, because the Avo line is fantastic, including this one. So with all that said, please add and subscribe, leave questions, comments, feedback, suggestions. If you smoke this and you agree or disagree with my reviews, go ahead and leave your opinions in the comments below. Just keep it nice is all I ask, and enjoy every puff. So, halfway point. Just after I showed you the ash, it plopped right off. I figured why go in for another. It is burning a little strange, but big deal. For those who care whether it's on a razor or not, that's why I show you. They say that this was like the cream of the crop of the Avo XO cigars. Um, and the flavors are very good. However, having tried many of the line, um, there's a few that I like more. Doesn't mean that they're so-called better, but to me, I like them a lot more. I can think of the classic right offhand as one that I actually enjoy more than this, even though I really enjoy this one too. The mystery note was fantastic, and shoot, I can't even remember all of them right now. The synchro, that was fantastic. Um, Heck, I haven't had a bad Avo yet. Um, and I'm really liking this one too. The flavors, very pronounced, very. They're. At the beginning, I couldn't detect exactly what they were. They let me guessing. And now, although they're there, there's still some nuances and flavors that blended the way they are, I'm getting the hint of, but not enough to say it is. Like there's kind of a sweet, fruitish flavor that sits on this side. And there's a rich kind of leather flavor that finds its way into the palate on this side. And then the tongue and base is devoid of flavor, but the roof of the mouth has quite a bit of flavor too. And one thing I find is interesting about this is it puts flavor profiles in various different places in the palate within the mouth. And it's made me realize that a lot of cigars sometimes hit the tongue, etc. And I just wonder how a blender is able to blend, and are they able to know where it's going to affect and what flavors are going to come out. It just seems so complicated at times. Anyways, I'm rambling. I'll see you a little later on.